Yeah, man. Let's get into day 7. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, the name you can trust when it comes to all things reaction. And we're gonna get into day 7. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So as you already know what the charges are. Already know what he pleads. Give me a second. All right. So day 7. Day 7 focuses on the prosecution. What can I speak? The prosecution. In fact, yeah, the prosecution using David James, not David James as the ex-England goalkeeper, the ex. Who else he used to play for in terms of the club? He used to play for Aston Villa, or was it West Ham, or was it both? I can't remember. He was a cold goalkeeper. I can't even lie. I'm talking about soccer. But some of you call it soccer, but for me it's football. All right, because football. Anyway, the prosecution used David James, like I said, not the goalkeeper, testimony to use uh, David James' testimony to show Sean Combs' control over staff and free-off logistics and Gerard Gannon's evidence to prove enterprise resources such as firearms, narcotics, and blank supplies. All right, so the day 7 witnesses were the following. The individuals that testified were David James, former personal assistant to Sean Combs from 2007 to 2009. All right. Gerard Gannon, who is a Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent. Again, I'm going to repeat this one more time. This case is not about Cassie versus Sean Combs. This is literally the US government versus Sean Combs. Hence ASI getting involved. Yeah, because the Homeland Security, get me, they were one of those that raided his properties. Do you know what I mean? And then he's someone to say, haha, you raided the wrong one. Foolish boy. But thank you. Get me? Anyway, so let's just get straight into day 7. The testimony from David James is David testified for approximately 2 hours, describing his role in stocking hotel room for Sean Combs' events, including free coughs with alcohol, baby oil, condoms. He admitted to witnessing Sean Combs using cocaine and marijuana, but denied seeing Combs physically abuse Cassie, which I find interesting. You admit to seeing him taking drugs, or narcotics, but you haven't seen like physical violence towards Cassie, which again, if you're telling the truth, you got to tell the truth and keep the truth real. You know what I mean? But where's that? So James recounted being subjected to a lie detector test and intimidating search by Sean Combs security, suggesting a culture of fear. He also described arranging travel, foot escorts, and cleaning rooms to remove evidence. The defense, via Agnifilo, cross-examined David James on his limited direct observation of abuse and suggested he was motivated by a lawsuit. Okay, so James denied personal gain, emphasizing his fear of Sean Combs. One more time, fear. That word has been brought up on more than one occasion in this trial so far. Fear. And let me ask you in the comments below, let me know. Have you ever done something out of fear? Leave your answer in the comments below. And you can have put full details. You could just say a simple yes, I've done something out of fear. But have you done something out of fear? Do you know what I mean? Because fear can make you. There's the thing where what's the saying again? Fight or flight. Do you know what I mean? Fight or flight. In most cases, 9 out of 10 times, most people are in flight mode. No, is it fight or flight? No, they're not in flight mode. That's the wrong. They're in fright mode. Get me? They're in fright mode. They're frozen like Elof or Olaf, whatever his name is. Get me? No, I don't have much children, but it's what it is. Anyway, so Diddy, one of the standout quotes David mentioned was Diddy had me stock hotels with liquor and baby oil. I was scared to mess up. Again, scared, fear, same thing. Right? Linked to charges. RICO stock hotels, so enterprise logistics with staff enabling free costs. Yeah? Blank trafficking. Scared. Suggests coercion within the enterprising within the enterprise implying forced compliance. Transportation, arranging travels for escorts, supports interstate travel for commercial blank. So when you give me a second. When you when you look at it from that perspective, you've got to analyze that at the end of the day, there's more to this. And when you ask about other people involved, why they're not charged, let's see what the cross-examiner wants to say when it comes to David James when it happens. You know what I mean? All right, so the testimony from Gerard Gannon, who was the ASI special agent, led the 2024 raid on Sean Combs' Miami and Los Angeles properties. All right, excuse me. So Gerard testified for about 3 hours. How are they doing these testimonies like taking hours? You know what I mean? Like Sharay's one was what? Basically 90 minutes. That's 1 hour and 30 minutes, yeah? Alright, cool. That's still over an hour. And I swear Cassie, I think her one was over 4 hours as well. I think hers is the longest one I've seen so far, but this one, how many hours? 3 hours. Yo. It just shows they want to get they want the jurors to have thorough information so they can make the right decision. Yeah, that's as simple as it gets. Thorough information, hear everything that needs to be heard, see everything that needs to be seen, then they can make the right decision to say whether he's guilty or not guilty. Simple. Yeah, simple. So, presenting evidence from March 2024 Miami raid, including 2 AR-15 lower receivers with defaced serial numbers, loaded magazines, 25 bottles of baby oil, 31 bottles of Astroglide lubricant, blank toys, lingeries, and platform heels found in a closet near Sean Combs' master bedroom. One must say there's nothing wrong with being, because other things like cool, whatever, one could argue, is it illegal to be a freak? Is it illegal? Do you know what I mean? One could make that argument, but to have loaded magazines and have like not when they say magazine, talking about for weapons, for firearms. It's like to find firearms in that particular place. Why? And why is it defaced? That's illegal. It's not legal. It's not illegal to carry firearms in certain states. I understand that, but it is illegal to. It is definitely illegal to deface a firearm. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And to have that anyway, an AR-15, that is crazy work. Anyway, found in a closet near his master bedroom. That's where they found. He showed jurors the photos of these items, noting that AR-15s could be set to semi-automatic through zip tied for evidence. Those zip tied for evidence. So Gannon also testified about finding a crystal rock-like substance, suspecting MDMA in a box marked puffy, and then psilocybin pills in the master bedroom. The defense via Estevar argued the guns were not functional. So the firearms were not functional and questioned whether the baby oil was for free costs or personal use. Yeah. Gannon maintained the items' proximity suggested enterprise activities. And you gotta understand, look where they were found. Do you know what I mean? Look where they were found. All right, so let's keep it moving. Where was I? So, the standout quote from this testimony is, "We found AR-15, parts of baby oil, and lingerie in Diddy's closet. Serial numbers were scratched off." Now, how does this link to the charges, right? So, RICO, AR-15 parts, baby oil, and lingerie suggest an enterprise equipped for free cuffs and intimidation. So, even if it's not functional, it's still for intimidation. All right? With defaced serial indicating illegal activity. Again, with defaced serial numbers indicating illegal activity. Then the next one is blank trafficking, right? Baby oil and blank toys tied to coerce free cops with firearms imply threat of violence. Transportation, hotel-related items such as travel logistics. All right. So when you want to say how do they all link together, this, that, and the third, that's how. That's how. That is how. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below for day 7. While I put up the details for day 8, or the notes for day 8, because I find it very interesting how I find it very interesting when it comes down to this particular case or this trial, so to say, how if you're not paying attention to the details, you can easily be misled into thinking this ain't a RICO case, it's the FREACO case. You know what I mean? That's how some people want to imply it. But the further I read on, the further I see these things, and I see this thing the further I continue this, the further I'm realizing, yo, this guy is guilty. You got the ASI, yeah, HSI, should I say? Sorry, you got the Homeland Security investigator, yeah, who raided the property or his properties in Los Angeles and Miami and found an AR-15 and magazines in the master bedroom, which is obviously Sean Combs' property in Sean Combs' house, which is obviously his bedroom. You can't dispute that not being his bedroom. I mean, maybe they can dispute that. They can argue that if they want the defense. But the reality is, that's the truth. That's what he found there. It's different if it was in a safe, in a security room, because then you can say, oh, well, the firearms are for the security. You know what I mean? You can at least easily dismiss that. But in the master bedroom, and you can say, yeah, but maybe you need to for protection. No, but why has it got security for? If you can, anyway, I digress here. But the reality is, it's not look good. It's not looking good for Diddy. That's all I'm saying. It's not looking good for him. It's not looking good. Anyway, let me pull up for day 8. Give me a second, y'all. In the words of Steve Harvey, don't go here, y'all.